Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Today we will discuss kinds of verbs. We have already discussed what is a verb and what are its five forms. First form, that is known as base form or present form. Then we have discussed singular form or s or es plus s or es form. Then we have discussed the second form, that is past form. Then we have discussed the third form, that is past participle form, and the last one, that is present participle form. Today we will discuss some of the kinds of these verbs. uh, Rather, we will discuss only two kinds of verbs today, that is main verbs and helping verbs. There are eight kinds of verbs actually. They are closely related to each other, and many verbs can function as multiple different types of verbs. That means ये जो 8 किस्म के verbs है, अक्सर verb जो है वो बहुत से categories में fall होते हैं. They belong to different categories. एक verb है जो एक ग्रुप में आता है, दूसरे kind में भी आता है. Now we will discuss what is a main verb, what are main verbs. They are known as lexical or principal verbs. ये तीनों नाम है इस main verbs के. They are also called lexical verbs or principal verbs. They are used in a sentence alone. Sentence में ये alone अकेले इस्तेमाल होते हैं without the help of any other verb. अपने बलबूते पर ये सेंटेंस बनाते हैं, माने में कोई कमी नहीं रहती है, बिल्कुल इंडिपेंडेंटली यूज होते हैं विदाउट द हेल्प ऑफ एनी अदर वर्ब. लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि ये हेल्पिंग वर्ब्स के साथ इस्तेमाल नहीं होते हैं, ये उनके साथ भी इस्तेमाल होते हैं और विद ए हेल्पिंग वर्ब. दे आर यूज्ड आल्सो विद ए हेल्पिंग वर्ब. They usually show an action. Main verb जो है usually they show an action. Most of the verbs, main verbs, show action. Almost all main verbs have 5 forms. We have discussed already 5 forms of verbs. ये जो main verbs है उनकी 5 forms है. As discussed above, as discussed in the previous lecture, most of the verbs belong to this category. English language में जो most verbs है लगभग 95% verbs जो है वो इस category में they belong to this category. A limited number of verbs belong to another category. For example, eat, run, cook, wash, read, write, play, sing, dance, walk, feel, fly, work, etc. These are some of the examples. You can add thousands of examples to this list. You can make sentences also. For example, she eats food. I eat food. They eat food. I ran. I run. She cooks food. She washes clothes. We can make sentences of these main verbs easily. This is a very easy job. Now the second type. This is most important. That is helping verbs. What are helping verbs? As the name suggests, they help other verbs. These are helping verbs. They help main verbs. They are also known as auxiliary verbs. उनको auxiliary verbs भी कहते हैं. They are also used with main verbs to show tense. Tense बनाने के काम आते हैं. Mood. There are 5 moods. We will discuss this later on, inshallah. And this also help us to form voices, that is passive voice. उसके लिए भी इस्तेमाल होते हैं. They are always followed by a main verb. देखिए this point is very important. जब हम helping verb की बात करते हैं, that means helping verb के बाद main verb आता है, तभी तो वो helping verb है. अगर helping verb के बाद main verb नहीं आता है, then it is not a helping verb, it is a main verb itself. This is very important. They are always followed by a main verb. They are also used to form negative, sentences and interrogative sentences. Negative sentence बनाने के लिए भी ये इस्तेमाल होते हैं. They are also used to make interrogative sentences. There are a limited number of auxiliary verbs in English language. ये जो इससे पहले हमने पढ़ा था main verbs, they are unlimited. We cannot count them. But the list of helping verb is a limited. These are limited in number. We can count them. They are countable. There are a limited numbers of auxiliary verbs in English language. I will give the examples later on. First of all, let me say these helping verbs, we have divided them into two kinds. First one, that is primary auxiliary verbs. What are these primary auxiliary verbs? Actually, those helping verbs which are used with other verbs to show questions. They are used to make questions, negatives, and tenses. They have a negative form also. That means we can change the verb in negative form. They are also used as main verbs also. This is very important point. These primary auxiliary verbs, there are only 3 primary auxiliary verbs. I will discuss this later. They are also used as main verbs also. Now page 2nd. Here you will see there are only 3 primary auxiliary verbs in English language. They are be, this is the base form. Then we have do, this is also in base form. Then we have has or have. Be is a unique verb in English language. It has 8 forms. There is no other verb in English language having 8 forms. Either we have verbs with 5 forms or less than 5 forms. But this is a unique verb. It has 8 forms. That means is, am, or, was, were, been, being. If you look up this word, if you want to look is in a dictionary, you will never find is in a dictionary. The dictionary will say that please refer to be. That means base word is be. These are all its forms. But when we talk about these auxiliary verbs, we talk about all these 8 forms. जब हम ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब की बात करते हैं, जब हम बी की बात करते हैं, तो हम पूरे 8 के 8 फॉर्म्स की बात करते हैं. दैट मीन्स all forms are auxiliary verbs except few. Then we have second one, that is do. It has also 5 forms: does, did, done, doing. These are all auxiliary verbs. Then we have the last one, that is has or have. It has second form had, third form also had, and the last one present participle form, that is having. Only 3 auxiliary verbs, but along with their forms. These are primary auxiliary verbs. Now, the main important point. These auxiliary, as I have already discussed before, these auxiliary verbs are used as main verbs. ये main verbs भी इस्तेमाल होते हैं, ये auxiliary verbs भी इस्तेमाल होते हैं. I made a list, मैंने एक लिस्ट बनाया है, और लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में मैंने लिखा है used as main verb, and right hand side में मैंने लिखा है used as helping verbs. For example, this is not a boy. If you see this sentence, there is only one verb in this sentence, that is. मैंने अभी बताया आपको, सेंटेंस में अगर सिर्फ एक वर्ब होता है तो वो मेन वर्ब होता है, ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब नहीं होता है, क्योंकि ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब के बाद हमेशा मेन वर्ब इस्तेमाल होता है. ऑल्दो इज, ये जो है, अगर हम कैटेगरी उसकी बताएंगे, दिस इज ए हेल्पिंग वर्ब, बट इन दिस सेंटेंस इट इज यूज्ड एज मेन वर्ब. और इसी तरह ये जो पूरा कॉलम है लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में, इज ये टीचर, यहाँ भी इज मेन वर्ब है. आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, एम मैंने यहाँ एज मेन वर्ब इस्तेमाल किया है. ही हैज़ बिग कार, दिस इज मेन वर्ब. ही हैड अ बिग हाउस, हैड यहाँ एक मेन वर्ब के तौर इस्तेमाल हुआ है. डू इट फास्ट, डू यहाँ मेन वर्ब इस्तेमाल हुआ है. ही डिड इट टू इम्प्रेस मी, यहाँ भी डिड एज मेन वर्ब इस्तेमाल हुआ है. शी वॉज सिक, यहाँ वॉज एज मेन वर्ब इस्तेमाल हुआ है. बट on the right hand side I have used these auxiliary verbs as helping verbs. For example, he is working, main verb is work, but is helping verb. They are playing, or is a helping verb. They are eating, or is here also a helping verb. I am reading, am is a helping verb. Read is a main verb. They were working, he's not working. Is he working? She was cooking food. You can make a long list about these, how we can use them as main verb, how we can use them as helping verbs. ये हम बहुत बड़ा लिस्ट बना सकते हैं. हम उनको मेन वर्ब भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, हम उनको हेल्पिंग वर्ब भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. नोट, very important point also, they strictly follow subject verb agreement. देखो मैंने पहले ही आपको बताया है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इज हम ही और शी के साथ इस्तेमाल करते हैं, या थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर कोई होता है उसके लिए. एम जो है वर्ब, ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब आई एम, ये सिर्फ आई के साथ इस्तेमाल होता है, उसी को सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट कहते हैं. ये तमाम प्रोनाउंस के साथ सभी इस्तेमाल नहीं हो सकते हैं. ये बिल्कुल अपने अपने प्रोनाउन के साथ इस्तेमाल होते हैं, अपने अपने सब्जेक्ट के साथ इस्तेमाल होते हैं. दे कैन नॉट फॉलो ऑल प्रोनाउंस ऑल सब्जेक्ट्स, ये बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता है, उसको हम सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट कहते हैं. This was the first kind of helping verbs, that is primary auxiliary verbs. Only 3 verbs. They are also used as main verbs. They are used with other verbs to show questions, negatives, and tenses. There are only 3 primary auxiliary verbs, but they have some forms also. So along with all these forms, there are only 3 auxiliary verbs, primary auxiliary verbs. Now the second one. This is modals. Modals. Now what is these modals? They are a special kind of helping verbs that do not follow subject verb agreement. हमने अभी पढ़ा जो primary auxiliary verbs है, they strictly follow this subject verb agreement. For example, he is a boy, he are a boy. We can never say this. We can never use are with he. We can never use were with he. We can never use am with he. There is a definite subject verb agreement, but these modals, this is very important. Helping verbs that do not follow subject verb agreement. They have no forms like main verbs. उनकी forms नहीं है. They have no 5 forms. They have no singular form. They have no ing form जिसको हम present participle form कहते हैं. They have no past form also. Even we use some of the words as past forms. They have no past participle form also. They have no forms like main verbs. They show possibility, permission, ability, necessity, obligation. These are some of the functions of these modals, but we will discuss them in coming videos, in later videos, inshallah. They have no forms like main verbs. They show possibility, permission, ability, necessity, obligation. Like primary auxiliary verbs, they are followed by a main verb. ये इसमें भी इम्पॉर्टेंट है. ये मॉडल्स जो है उनके बाद भी एक हेल्पिंग वर्ब, एक मेन वर्ब इस्तेमाल होता है, तभी तो ये हेल्पिंग वर्ब्स है. अगर उनके बाद एक मेन वर्ब इस्तेमाल नहीं होता है तो दे विल आल्सो बिकम मेन वर्ब्स, दे विल आल्सो बिकम प्राइमरी वर्ब्स. दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. They are followed by a main verb, but in base form. not in second form, not in third form, not in plural form, that is s or es plus es or es. They have a negative form also, उनकी एक नेगेटिव फॉर्म भी है. I have made a list of all these verbs here. You can see there are 12 modals in English language. First of all, we have can. It has a negative form also, cannot. This can't. This contracted form, short form भी है उनकी. Then we have second one, that is could, and it has also a negative form, could not, couldn't. Then we have third one, that is will not, won't. Then we have would not, wouldn't. Then we have shall not, shan't. Then we have should not, shouldn't. Then we have may not, mayn't. Then we have might not, mightn't. Then we have must not, mustn't. Then we have ought not, oughtn't. Then we have dear not, daren't. Then we have need not, needn't. The last three ones, that is 10th, 11th, and 12th, that is ought, dear, and need. They are sometimes called semi-modal verbs. Why? Because these three verbs are also used as main verbs in some cases. They have two forms, they have two, they fall in two categories. That is, they can be used as main verbs also, as helping verbs also. Now I have given an example of each one here. You will read this. She can drive a car. Could I sit here? I will help you. Would you please help me? They shall succeed. He should have been careful. Then we have may come in. It might be very expensive. Then we have you must help him. They ought to respect the law. She dares to go inside the haunted house. You need not come here. As you can see, I have used these verbs as helping verbs, modals, and main verb these follows after these modal auxiliary verbs. This was all about these two types, that is main verbs and helping verbs. Helping verbs are uh, uh, divided into two main groups. The main kinds, that is primary auxiliary verbs, and second one is modals. Although main verbs are countless, we cannot count them. There is a large number, there is a huge number of main verbs, but there is a limited number of helping verbs in English language. We can count them, not more than 30. All, if we count all along with the forms, not more than 30 auxiliary verbs. This was all about this main verb and helping verb. Inshallah, we will discuss the other kinds of verbs in next video. Till that, goodbye.